Hi, this is David McCann for WebTNG. This video is a Cwicly tutorial where I'm creating an advanced template. The template is advanced because I'm going to be using a repeater field and because I'm going to be combining data from two custom post types that have a relationship between them. To create this advanced template, I'm not going to use any custom code. I'm not going to use any short codes. I'm not going to use any squirrely templates that get included in order to make this happen. I'm just going to be using straight up Cwicly blocks. And I'm doing this to show you the flexibility and power of Cwicly. After the walkthrough tutorial, at the end there'll be some discussion where I put Cwicly and this type of flexibility and power into context in relationship with other Gutenberg options and other page builders. I have here a test site. I've created a simple header and footer with the site editor and Cwicly. This is the default index page with these are the post excerpts. I haven't done too much on this site already. Let's go and look at the themes. I have the Cwicly theme installed and activated. If we look at the plugins, I have my backup plugin. I have WP Codebox. I've added a code snippet in order to have a bidirectional relationship between two custom post types. I understand ACF is going to include this functionality in a future version, so I won't even need this in the future. If you need the code snippet, it'll be in the video summary on the WebTNG website. Okay, then I've got Cwicly installed. This is the plugin. Now, Cwicly gives us Advanced Custom Fields Pro. I've created two custom post types, one called Audiobooks and one called Book Authors. I've created a custom taxonomy called Genres. And then I have two field groups, one for books, where we have a reviewer rating, the name of the reader, the length of the recording, and a book-author relationship. And then we have also the author fields, a link to the author's website, the author's date of birth, and then a repeater field. And the repeater field has a social site and a social site link. Those are the inner fields for the repeater field. Then we also have the book-author relationship here because I've made it bidirectional. Okay, if we look over here at the books and we look at one, in the editor we see we have the title. This is the way Cwicly does it. We have the content, we have our custom fields, we have our genre, our featured image, and then here's the author picked from the relationship. Then for the book authors, here's the author's name as the title, a little placeholder for a short biography. It has the author's name in it, the author's image, link to the author's website, date of birth, the repeater fields, and then books by this author picked from the book relationship. Note that I have the date of birth as January 1st, 1923 here because I don't really know the author's birth date, but that's what I put in there. So normally you would create perhaps a single template for books and one for authors. But what I want to do is create a template for each book author that has their author information, but also includes book information. To do that, we'll get started. We'll go to the Cwicly themer. And this is the index. That's the home page we saw there. We're going to go to default, which will take us over to the site editor. And I'm going to do add new, and we're going to do single book author. And we'll use the same template for all book authors. Okay, and here we are. And let's collapse the header and footer. See, we have a section here, and there's the post content. Okay, so what I want to do is in this section with Cwicly where you have the stack you can insert into the container. So I want to add in a div. And in this div, I want to add two more divs. All right, and then in this div, I want to add an image field, a Cwicly image field. And I'm going to click the source to be WordPress and featured image. Okay, and you know, we're not seeing anything here, even though we have picked single author. So Cwicly has this place here where we can pick a record for a preview, and that's going to help us get things sized right. So let's pick a record here. We'll do this one. And then in this div, we will add our heading, and that will be WordPress post title. And in this div, we'll also have our post content. So let's drag this down now here. So let's see if we can format these a little bit. Let's go to the parent container, set it to be flexbox, okay. And then we'll set a column gap. Let's say 3 rem. Then in this div, let's set our direction to be as a row. Let's go justify top, but have things centered. Is that going to do it? We'll see when we get there, I guess. All right, let's give this div a size of, let's say 20%. All right, that's good. And this div will give a width of 80%. Here is kind of our base structure here. Let's start adding in now some custom fields. Let's add a button. Okay, and our text will be visit author's website. Okay, and we will go to the primary and we'll give the background a color. Let's do like a light green. Okay, and we'll go to design and margins and padding. We'll do 10 pixels top and 10 bottom and 15 on each side. And we'll do border, say a radius of 4, that green color, and 1 pixel for width. Okay, let's go to the image and let's give it a 20 pixels on the bottom. So now to make this a link in Cwicly, you go here and we want it's a URL, we want it to be dynamic, and it's going to be an ACF field, and the group is author fields, and the field is author's website. I'll have it open in a new tab. So let's save that, and let's just go over to this other tab, and let's go and look at this record so we can see how we're doing. Okay, not too bad. If we click this, we go to the author's website. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so we're off to a good start. Let's go now, and in this div here, let's add another div, and let's move this div up. And inside this div, let's add a Cwicly paragraph, and we'll say date of birth. Whoops. And then let's add another paragraph. This one will be a custom field. And it'll be an author field. It'll be date of birth. Okay, and then let's have these now go as a row. So that's looking pretty good. This div will give some margin at the bottom too. Now let's do our first kind of really advanced field. Let's see if we can show our repeater, the social sites. Cwicly has a repeater block. Very convenient. If you don't have a repeater created already, you can click here to create it. But since we already have it, I'm going to do set source. Let's go over to the primary tab. You know, I've done some other videos on Cwicly, some more introductory videos that explain these layouts and where things are. This is kind of more advanced, so I'm not going through these things again. Each block has a primary tab where it has some fields and options related to that. And then there's universal kind of consistent set of design options for each block, and then some advanced options. Okay, so the source is ACF, and the group is author fields, and the field is social media sites. That's our repeater. Okay, so now we need to add a block into the repeater, I believe. I'm going to try button. Let's find our Cwicly buttons. And now dynamic value repeater. And see, this wasn't an option before. And the field is for the label is going to be social site. See, it picked that up. And then now we need to set the field for the link. It's going to be the social site link. Okay, and we can have it open in a new tab also. All right, so now on the repeater, let's set this to have flex direction like that. And we will have our margins and spacing, we'll say 15. Nope. Let's try it, 15. Let's put this up above the button. Let's give it a margin at the bottom of 20. Let's see. I'm going to set space between. Let's save and see what we get. Okay, it's looking pretty good. I have maybe a little bit too much space under the date of birth, and we need some space between these. So let's go this div here, and let's make that, let's say 10. Okay, and then for our button, this is margin. Let's try 15 here. I think that's going to do it. Does this work? Yep, awesome. Okay, so look how easy it was to do the repeater. We could style these up as buttons if we want. Okay, and if you wanted to, in your ACF repeater, you could add, so you have an icon here for it if you wanted to do that. Now we want to show the author's book information. So let's do that. Okay, so into this div now, let's add a query. This is a Cwicly query block. Okay, so we need to add a query template. And our template, we will add 2 divs. One div and another div. Let's go to the template and check here it's set for grid. Let's make it flex. Okay, so now in this div, this will look familiar. I'm going to add a Cwicly image block, and our source will be a WordPress featured image. And in this div, I want to add a Cwicly heading block, and its source will be a WordPress post title. So we're here. Let's set the size of the image. Let's make it 90 pixels high and say 80 wide. And this div, we're going to do, say 25%. And this div, let's say 70%. So we'll make this one 70%. Okay, and now I'm going to add another div here. Okay, and let's close these, and let's move this one into here and this one into here. Okay, and now let's go and there we go. And let's give a column gap of, let's say, 3 rem. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Now let's go, let's see, the image, did I set the size? Let's see. Okay, so it's a WordPress featured image. Let's go ahead to the query now. It's not going to be from URL. So we have, can be query of posts, authors, MIME types, comments, permissions, status, passwords, order, pagination, search, taxonomy query, meta query, date query, and code. So there are a lot of options for different types of queries and for query parameters. We do want a post type, but we want to select books, audio books. Okay, now it's showing all the books, which we want to just show this author's books. So we have to tell it what we want to include. So the source is going to be ACF, book fields, and we want it to be this relationship, book author field. Awesome. See, we've got the 3 books now for the author. So that's really great. Pretty cool that was that easy. Now, in this div, let's add a Cwicly paragraph. In the dynamic data, it's going to be WordPress, and it's going to be post excerpt. Let's say 250 characters. And then we'll add under that, let's add a Cwicly button. And our text will be read more. Okay, and our button link will be WordPress post URL. Okay, so here's our related data, our related custom post type data. Let's save this. Let's go and refresh now. Okay, this is looking good. Let's do a couple things here. The image, I think we're going to need to do the sizing. We need it, let's have a height of, say, 100 and a width of, let's say, 70. Okay, that looks better. And then for this div, let's go to background. And for the color, let's give it a very, very light green background. All right, and let's save. And let's refresh. Obviously, we could do some more styling if we needed to, but let's see if this is working. The golden wolf. The golden wolf. We don't have a template yet for the individual book items, but Sea Queen, and we clicked on the Sea Queen. So you can see the links are going to the correct place. So we've created this single template here. Let's go look at another author. Let's try Lisa Scottoline. Okay, so she has 2 books instead of 3, and it's picking up her books. She has 3 social media sites instead of 2. So this is working as expected. We have the repeater field. We've pulled in data from not just one field, but whatever data we want from another custom post type using the relationship field. All right, so that's the walkthrough portion. Now for some discussion. There are different market segments, even within Gutenberg. Some focus on templates, while others look to a middle ground where the blocks are flexible and powerful enough for most sites, but they're easy enough for clients. However, there's also the need for sites with advanced functionality. And up to now, people needed to resort to a page builder if they were reaching beyond what was possible with the site editor. However, since its release, Cwicly has steadily improved, and today it is the most capable Gutenberg solution. Cwicly has a learning curve. It's not a tool for clients. But for advanced sites that need a lot of dynamic data features, I'd say that Cwicly has arrived. Even though it's still getting big new features, it is mature and stable enough for production use. The only Gutenberg solution that's even close for advanced dynamic data features is GreenShift, and it has its nice qualities and is easier to use. But GreenShift has grown by accretion over time, and its user interface is not as advanced or as coherent as Cwicly's. I think the GreenShift developers are refactoring the UI, but the trade-off for ease of use is that it doesn't have the same level of advanced features. Advanced builders like Cwicly don't appeal to everyone. Many people prefer something simpler and quicker to use. But if you've been using Oxygen or Bricks and you want to move over to Gutenberg, then Cwicly is the way to go. Or if you're comfortable with web technologies and you want to build advanced data-driven sites in the site editor, Cwicly's a great solution. In fact, I fully endorse Cwicly as one of the best site builder solutions available for WordPress today. So this has been my advanced Cwicly tutorial. There's a summary of the video available on the WebTNG website, along with other walkthroughs, reviews, and resources. If you got something out of the video, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It makes a big difference. Thank you for watching.